Hello everyone. So we all know the Google Easter eggs. We all like to play the Pac-Man one. We get distracted playing the snake one. But what if I told you there's something much more strange happening? A plot, a story, and just something strange going on. Well, that's what this video is about. We're talking about the Google lore. The Google Easter egg lore. I don't care what you guys want to call it. So let's begin. So I'm gonna link this in the description. It's a Google, which is pretty much, it's backwards Google, okay? And it includes every single Google Easter egg. Official Google Easter eggs that are imperfect, official Google Easter eggs are restored, and official Google Easter eggs are enhanced. And of course, unofficial Google Easter eggs. So, we want to stay away from the unofficial Google Easter eggs, simply because they're unofficial, okay? You guys maybe saw my other video. Yeah, I kind of used some of these as evidence to make that one. Yeah, these don't count. We can't. So pretty much we can't use like Dinosaur Game 3D. This is not canon. This is not part of the Google lore. This is not part of the Google lore, no matter how good it is. So, let's just go through what we know. Because this is just the start of the iceberg. So we know that that we all know the dinosaur game. We know the do the barrel roll. So, pretty much just from do the barrel roll, we can tell there might be something futuristic happening, because do a barrel roll is a reference to the game. Do you guys know it? Hopefully you guys do. So I'd be worried if you didn't. Yeah, it's a reference to the game Star Fox. Okay? When you search do a barrel roll, the first thing that pops up is, in fact, Star Fox do a barrel roll. So that is pretty much our evidence that there is something happening in the future. But we can also see the other side of it. So Google lore clearly is over the course of many, many years, because we actually know the story of the dinosaurs. So perhaps in Google lore, the dinosaurs, what if they told you that the dinosaurs just went extinct to cactuses? Okay? Now, it sounds a little outlandish, but I have some proof. So, it's been confirmed that on average, there are, in at least 2018, there are approximately 270 million games of the dinosaur game played monthly, meaning that there are enough dinosaurs that can just go extinct from this game alone. So there we go. That's our proof that the dinosaur game could just be stating that the dinosaurs died due to cactuses. We can, though I don't rule off the table of possibilities that the dinosaur could have still just been wiped out by a meteor. Let's go to the next one on the enhanced list of these. Snake game. So now this right here is the snake game. Does it look familiar? No, it doesn't, because no one plays this one. That is a very different version of the snake game. So right now, what we're at is pretty much the snake game, assumably, would take place in the middle of the timeline, right? Both Snake games can take place at the middle of the timeline. Okay. So we know that there's a far future, a distant past, and just a modern day. Now let's go to the next. Now there is Google in 1998. This is a good one. This is a good service where you can just Google things, like free. So you see, and then you can get scammed right here and right here. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, that is pretty much. We could assume that this either takes place right at the start, or it's in second to the dinosaur game on the timeline. But let's go deeper still. We're on to the Pac-Man game. So the Pac-Man game is just Pac-Man with the Google logo. Now, in order to understand where the Pac-Man game has to be taking place on here, we have to understand the Pac-Man lore. So, because we do know that there is a multiverse in the Pac-Man world, because we know that that Mrs. Pac-Man is canon to the main Pac-Man world, right? But then in Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, we are told that Pac-Man is the only yellow person left. Okay? So that means that there has to be a multiverse involved. So either Google is part of an alternate universe of Pac-Man, or it is the same universe as Pac-Man. Now, we're going to just quickly go over what little we know about the Pac-Man lore, just so we can understand the Google lore to its fullest extent. Got it, guys? So there are 12 main arcade Pac-Man games from what I see, okay? So let's go through all of them now. Yay! So the first one is Baby Pac-Man, because it's about Pac-Man as a child. Second one is Pac-Man Plus. Now this one gets a little bit more weird side. Pretty much, Pac-Man Plus, when you eat the big dot, all the ghosts turn into apples. So I assume because they thought that he was just like a kid, they thought that they could still just come over and attack him with less powerful ghosts that are actually just from the apple you ate this morning. Yep. The next one that would logically make sense is just normal Pac-Man, because now he's an adult and the ghosts are still trying to attack him. The next one would be Pac-N-Pal. This gets even weirder. I assume Pal is Pac-Man's ex-girlfriend, which is why we never saw her again. Mrs. Pac-Man, which is the next one. And they give birth to Junior Pac-Man. Yeah. And then Pac in Time, because we see Pac-Man as a family in that game. And now Pac-Man 256 is, so this is when everything gets completely just out of the view of understanding. Pretty much Pac-Man 256, we all know that game lasts forever, right? You can show both of them on the screen. They're the same thing, pretty much. One's just normal Pac-Man, the other one's like an arcade game. They have the same name for whatever reason. It's stupid. Either way, though, they go on forever until you lose. So we know that Pac-Man loses to the ghosts. Professor Pac-Man then comes in and saves the world. Okay, so obviously this is a very basic Pac-Man timeline. I might do a future video on it, on just like the Pac-Man timeline, if that's what you guys would want in the future. But right now we're still talking Google lore. Okay, so we kind of got a little off track there. No, we didn't. That was really important. So now let's go to Google Tilt. So you tilt Google. So this one doesn't have much to it. You just tilt Google. But let's just go on to another one because maybe that will help us out now. So the Wizard of Oz.
There's no place like home.
This is a feature in the Wizard of Oz one. So I'm so confused. If you're confused, don't worry. So am I. So the Wizard of Oz one gets a little interesting. There's just like weird magic shoes and reality shifts. But if you've seen the Wizard of Oz movie, you'll know that spoilers for the Wizard of Oz movie. You'll know that it was all just a dream. So assumingly this is either just a movie in the Google lore, or this is an even darker conspiracy. No, or it was just a dream she had. Which, wait a second, if it's connected to the Wizard of Oz lore, no, we're gonna stay on track this time. Okay, so next one we're on is Thanos Snap. So now let's go over the Avengers lore. No, so we now know, thanks to Google, technically the universes of Pac-Man and the Avengers, those are now the same multiverse. Thanks Google. So pretty much you just click on it and then half the links disappear. Thanos did a big bad snap on them. See, they're all dying. And it's your fault for letting him snap. This is getting really sad. So half the links disappear, but then all the links come back when you click it again. So assumingly that this pretty much would mean that the snap ends up getting reversed in this universe. Okay. So right now we can tell that the Thanos snap and the Wizard of Oz both take place in the same Google lore world. Okay? So now what is Breakout? How does Breakout fit into the greater Google lore? Well, we know that spaceships exist in the Google world, right? So I understand Breakout, technically what this is all meant to be is this is meant to be a robber escaping from prison. But we're talking Google lore, remember. So Google, in the Google lore, at least in my conspiracy theory version, pretty much could this be aliens attacking the planet? Now this sounds crazy, right? But let's really look at it, okay? So, as you can see, we know that in the center of the earth there is lava, okay? So then that's why the bottom one you destroy is lava, is red, because lava. Yep. And then the orange is in front of that. Now, dark orange, here's a fun fact, is brown. Yeah, dark orange is brown. So, and I assume lava's a darker shade of red than this. So, could it be that yellow could be sand and then the green could be earth? But then you might say you have to do science and stuff in order to prove this. There's sand underneath the grass. Well, allow me to prove it. So, we know that sand improves the firmness of soil. So, now let's continue going down the rabbit hole, the Google lore. Could we have evidence of a food shortage? In fact, yes we do. In fact, that was the last one we just went over. Thanos snap. There was a shortage of food, and so half the universe was destroyed by Thanos to give us more food, okay? Perhaps there could even be an even shorter food shortage. So reverse the snap, Thanos, reverse the snap. Perhaps there could be an even bigger food shortage is what I mean. Because we know that the snap ends up getting reversed. This could cause, like I said, an even huger food shortage. Or the food shortage just keeps raining on. So us as humans are going to need to find a way to make the plants do better by improving the firmness of the soil. Zerg Rush. So if you haven't played Zerg Rush, it's actually really good. Not gonna lie. Like it's definitely like my favorite Google Easter egg, just because it's really fun. So you attack these little guys who are coming for your like little land base area. Okay. So they're like O's for Google. And then at the end, when you beat them, they spell out GG. If you lose, they'll spell out GG. Yeah. So we know that in Zerg Rush, they're attacking the land, right? So perhaps in the canon version, the canon ending of Zerg Rush is the fact that the humans defeat all the O's. All the letters, all the O's, they get defeated. Because we know that after they destroy a lot of the base, they make up GG, okay? So technically, that would make it really easy for them to be finished off. So you can't do this inside the actual game, but who's to say that nobody could just come over and attack them? That wouldn't even be difficult. That would actually be easy for people to be able to do. With them in two very specific easy spots. So, pretty much, Zerg Rush are the aliens' failed attempt to destroy Earth, and then Atari Breakout is a successful attempt to destroy Earth. So we know the Google lore, just based off what we know, this would take place in between Pac-Man Plus and Pac-Man. Just simply due to how the timelines would theoretically work using the Google lore. So, there's a lot more. I might make a part 2 to this, but pretty much, this is the end of my first part of the Google lore. If you guys like it, I'll do another one. Bye. Now, forever. I'm so sad. But yeah, comment down below your theories.